Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Market Talk. Today we're joined by two Pauls, Paul Shaw, who is the CEO of Restaurant Collective, and also Paul Ingram, who is the Managing Director of Carpigiani UK. Hello guys, thank you both for joining us this week. Very nice to see you. We'll kick off by talking about the Restaurant Collective, which is a new organisation officially launched in the marketplace this week. Paul, you're CEO and co-founder of the organisation. Do you want to start off by telling us, the reasons for the organisation and really how it all came about?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So Restaurant Collective has probably been about a year and a half, 2 years in the planning. It all began long before the pandemic hit us, but I think the arrival of the pandemic's made it all the more pressing and all the more relevant to today's challenges. But it began originally with some people that came together about 20 years ago, the original founders of Live Bookings, which for those of us long in the tooth enough to remember, was one of the first online restaurant booking platforms. And they're a group of restaurateurs that came together and set that up in order to put online booking into their restaurants. I, at the time, was at lastminute.com, and lastminute.com had a restaurant booking section. And we came together and we set that up. Anyway, that sort of formed a partnership that went on for several years. And a couple of years back, we came back together and looked at what are the challenges that independent restaurateurs really face, and where are they seeing issues? Where are they seeing that the odds aren't necessarily stacked in their favor? And what could we do about that? What could we do to sort of right that? And that was the starting point for Restaurant Collective, and that's where the thinking behind all the different features that we've sort of built into the initial offering came from. But I think that the sort of the guiding principle behind it is that it's a non-profit organization. And it's going to be member-led. It's being run by the members for the members. So we set it up, we've created it, and we've put out our view of what we think will resonate with members. But it's for the members as they join us to tell us and tell each other what it is that they really want, so that we can start to adapt and develop the collective to really suit the membership and their needs. What this is really all about is helping the independent restaurant sector, that massive community of really small businesses that operate up and down the country, not just in city centres, not just in popular locations, but absolutely everywhere. It's giving them the opportunity to come together, to have a vehicle that will champion their needs, that will give them the ability to connect with each other, that will provide them with support in the areas where they need support, and effectively level the playing field and give the independents, the small operators or the smaller operators, as much of a chance of running an efficient and effective, a successful and an enjoyable business as larger chains or other kinds of businesses. So that's really what we're all about.
Sure. Okay. Well, yeah, fantastic introduction. Really interesting to hear that. Obviously, these plans were in place before the pandemic, and I guess a lot of what's happened over the past year has sort of really concentrated the focus on some of the challenges that the restaurants and smaller restaurants are facing at the moment. We'll come back to that shortly. I'm just going to bring Paul from Carpigiani into the conversation now. Paul, do you want to bring us up to date on where you are as a business? I know you've got some exciting plans in terms of some investments that you're making, but what has the last year been like for you, given the type of equipment that you specialise in?
Yeah, well, obviously it's been a challenging time, I guess, for everybody. The lockdown coming at during March, which is the traditional beginning of our selling season for our main product being ice cream equipment, obviously was somewhat of a challenge. But of course, for a period, 90 to 100% of our customers were closed. So of course that brought about a really challenging time. However, we've bounced back really well. As you would have published, we've taken on Ice-O-Matic brand, which has got really great synergies with our ice cream equipment, obviously coming from a refrigeration basis. So it's been a really good integration there. That's come on board, and we've got really positive vibes from the market from the dessert sector. Whilst there are challenges, at this time we find that high profit margin generating products such as ice cream is really positive vibes surrounding that. So we're on the front foot really, I guess, and hence we just take on another national account manager, Steve McHugh, who's just started with this last week.
Good stuff. So you mentioned a couple of bits there. So we'll start off with the Ice-O-Matic integration. I mean, could you just give us a bit more information about how that came about and how that is now forming a wider portfolio for Carpigiani in the UK? Yeah,
so Ice-O-Matic produced the full range of ice making equipment from cubers through to flakers, etc. It's one of the Ali Group stable of companies, which Carpigiani is itself. So in that sense, it was a marriage that was already happening as such. So it's his sister company, so quite an easy integration from that point of view. It came about because the previous distributor was looking to sort of rationalise and concentrate on core products, and so we were a glad recipient of that fortune as such for ourselves that we could take on Ice-O-Matic. That's how it came about.
Good stuff. And so you also mentioned that Steve McHugh has joined you in the national accounts role. So is that reflective of an increased focus on national accounts? Is that something you'll be looking towards? I
wouldn't suggest it was an increased focus on national accounts. I think what it is reflective of is the confidence, I suppose, and the positivity we have in the market, that the inquiry levels that we're getting from that particular sector is really strong. A little bit, as Paul sort of said, that was pre-COVID that trend was happening. We've got some great things happening with regard to particular sectors, which we'll perhaps talk a little bit more, but premium soft is a really booming sort of area, as well as gelato itself. And so, yeah, it's reflective of the support that our national account customers really we need to give them, but I think it's equally reflective that it frees up the rest of our team to concentrate on our smaller independent customers, which are hugely important to us as well. So, it reflects on both sides of the business.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Coming back to the restaurant collective, Paul, as we spoke about there, you planned this prior to the pandemic. When it comes to launching and in terms of the timing now, what was the reason for you sort of going public with details about the group now? Is it because the market is beginning to open up and you feel it's a good time to officially launch?
It was always a difficult decision to decide exactly when to take this live. What we were conscious of was that we wanted to get out there quickly in a way that would enable our potential members and new members to have a say over how we developed, and we wanted it to be timely because clearly now is a really important moment for the sector. How independent restaurants in particular respond to the lifting of restrictions, how quickly they're able to get back on their feet, what factors will influence their speed of recovery. These are all really important issues for us, and I think really important issues that are going to be a big part of the debate and discussion amongst the independent restaurant community going forward. So we wanted to be there. We wanted to be there when it was happening. Now, I would probably be the first to say that all of the services, all of the functionality, all of the benefits that we want to have within the collective and that are in the pipeline for the collective, they're not there today. But what we have is a forum, and that gives us an opportunity to really interact with our members. But most importantly, I think to allow the members to interact with each other, to talk about the issues that are concerning them, the issues that are timely today, and the solutions they're finding to problems that they face as they reopen. And that's information I think we want to be the sort of the catalyst to allow people to share that kind of insight and knowledge and best practice, so that everybody can learn from that, and it benefits all the members. So that was really, we're probably not quite ready, frankly, but nonetheless, we're here. And as of last Thursday, we're live and open to member applications.
Oh, brilliant. No turning back now, anyway.
No, we've made our bed. We've got to line it, so we're up for it.
And you, as a CEO, you know, what will your job now entail moving forward day to day? How do you intend to engage with the members?
So from my perspective, I mean, it's all about steering the ship, I think, and making sure that the initial features of the collective are delivered to the members, that we tell the members what we're doing, we educate the members in what we're doing, and we give them every opportunity to take advantage of all the different things that we have planned. So the members forum that I mentioned, a single page website which enables restaurant owners to load the information on their own, from their website, on their restaurant, onto our platform, which we will then use to develop a listing called the Independent Restaurant Directory. It will be the UK's largest, as far as I know, actually the UK's only comprehensive listing of independent restaurants, and that will be publicly available. Now, what we will do with that is we will also disseminate it to listing sites and distribution partners. The problem that solves is that many restaurant owners are very frustrated about the fact that they don't have any control over the information that goes out into cyberspace about their restaurant. If the information is on TripAdvisor, they don't create it. If the information is on OpenTable, they don't create it. Somebody else creates it. They don't have the images they want. They don't have descriptions they want. They don't have the menus that they want. Our restaurant owners create our listing. And so as we distribute our listing out to all the other distribution partners that we work with, that means that whenever a restaurant owner updates anything about their listing, it immediately propagates in live out to every distribution channel. So that's a really big part of our offering. We think that's potentially a game changer. We've got a deals marketplace, a place where people can go, restaurant owners can go to get better deals than they would be able to get in the open market for products and services that they use on a regular basis. So that's going to be really important. We have a knowledge base that restaurant owners will be able to go to acquire knowledge and best practice and share knowledge and best practice. We've got the community forum that I mentioned. So all of these different features, we've got to get them out there. We've got to get them into the world, and we've got to get people using them. And my job really is to make sure that happens, and to make sure our members know exactly what is going on and how to get the best out of the membership, and then to continue to grow it. We've got mentorship schemes coming up. We've got missions coming up. We've got regional groups coming up where restaurant owners of different parts of the country can work together to deliver change in areas that are particularly important to them and their region. So we've got a huge amount to do, but of course, you know, topping all of that, to make this valuable, to make it relevant, to make it worthwhile, we've got to have members. And so first and foremost, my biggest job, arguably my only really important job in the next 6 months or so, is to make sure that we get out there and we let people know that we're here, and we get as many new members as we possibly can.
Sure. Okay.
Well, that all sounds like a fantastic resource there. So do you have many members so far, and how is the collective going to fund itself?
So we have some founder members. We've as I say, we launched last week. We've had a good response, and we are getting members signing up every day now. So that's great. We're seeding it now, and we're starting to get them to interact with each other. The cost of membership is £99 for a year, and we've kept it as low as we possibly can so that it doesn't become you know, a distraction almost. It should be something that you know, you don't even think about it, because you get so much value for a membership that the cost of membership is neither here nor there. We also do rely somewhat on sponsorship and support from our partners, who can support us in a number of ways, obviously financially through sponsoring various things that we do, but also in terms of providing us with deals and offers for our deals marketplace, and also providing knowledge for the knowledge base and content that we can put in there, so we can really start to educate our members. So there are lots of ways that we can be supportive, but essentially the majority of the cost of running is absorbed through membership fees.
Good stuff. So coming back to Paul Ingram then. So for Carpigiani, when you guys released a couple of news bits recently, there was kind of a hint that there's some big business plans coming. So is there anything that you can kind of tease us with to point us in the direction that you're going to be going in?
Well, without giving too much away, I think obviously there has been a couple of other pieces of news that we've already touched upon in terms of recruitment of further staff to sort of support the sales and the customer service side of the business. But as I alluded to, I guess earlier on, there is really big underlying growth in the dessert sector as a whole. I think during a pandemic, we've seen obviously growth of delivery services, and dessert has been a huge success within that. We've seen that across our existing customers and prospective ones, of course, as well. So, tying in with that growth of the overall sector, both within, as I touched upon, premium soft and gelato, we have a lot of expansion plans, and also hitting the market through some different channels. So historically, Carpigiani has been delivered through the market in a direct sales channel. We are opening up certain products, our plug and play range, we'll call it, through to a dealer network, which will be announced officially very soon. But this is the first time that we've given any sort of information on that publicly, but more to come in the coming weeks. But in all areas of the business, as I say, things are looking really positive through our education program, Gelato University. We also launched a dessert club, which was a series of webinars that went out from March, April last year, and we're still really healthy membership of that club, and that's very much a forum and a collective for ideas and thought on all things dessert, and that's doing really well. So more of that to come, and we will give you further details, I'm sure, in the coming weeks.
We look forward to hearing more as you're allowed to reveal it. Obviously, with your business, Paul, you serve quite a broad spectrum of the market, from independent restaurant operators and ice cream vans, sort of all the way up to the multi-site accounts. With those big multi-site accounts, obviously they've been the part of the market that has pretty much been open right the way through because of what they can do in terms of delivery and drive-through. So as a result of that, what impact has that had on their buying decisions? Have you seen them invest in equipment right the way throughout, or have they put that to one side while this has been going on?
There was certainly an intake of breath, I think, for some while, because even those guys that you're talking about there, a sort of QSR sector, were still hit for some time. So there was a bit of an intake of breath and probably a taking stock, and obviously work practices have had to evolve and change, and so there was certainly a delay in a lot of purchase decisions. But I'm pleased to say that predominantly it was a delay and a pause rather than things being cancelled completely. So yeah, we hit a bit of a bump in the road, but we're still heading in the right direction. And that, as you say, that sector's been extremely positive. For us, what's been positive is that we are across all food service, as you say, through independent, through to big chain business, and through all the different sectors, whether it be takeaway through to casual dining and fine dining indeed. So we have great sort of insight to the breadth of the market, and you would take the best of those sectors and impart that experience, I guess I would say. So yeah, no, it certainly was a challenging time, but we've come through that in the main with those customer groups, and things looking positive.
Yeah, and from a development point of view, have you still got new products coming through this year? Is the factory and the product development team still working as hard as ever?
Absolutely, yeah, indeed. We have a number of products, some which will be launched within the next couple of months. Within the shake sector in particular, another really booming sector, sort of premium shakes sector. So we have a new piece of equipment there, which I think is going to be a really big hit. But yeah, the DNA of Carpigiani is NPD, and we will continue to do that. And this, if anything, has strengthened our resolve to bring new products to the market.
Sure, okay.
Great stuff. Coming back to Paul Shaw, just looking at the overall market, I mean, industry data shows that 3,000 fewer restaurants than there were this time last year. 50 a week, which is crazy, but it's actually increased in the last 2 months of this year. Do you expect the decline to stop now, or do you think that we've not seen the worst of it yet?
I hope it will stop. I mean, you know, in a sense, they haven't made it easy for us. We're now in this strange situation where you can spend half your day in Primark, but you still can't eat inside a restaurant, which is, you know, a controlled environment and can be managed very effectively, as we found in the summer. But the encouraging thing is there is an enormous amount of demand. And just, you know, anecdotally walking around yesterday and seeing all of the restaurants and pubs with outdoor spaces absolutely full on a, you know, a pretty cold day actually as well, was very encouraging. So I do think that there is great opportunity for recovery. I think it could come quicker. I think there is a lot of caution about the reopening of hospitality. I understand that to an extent. My fear is that that will lead to further casualties. But my hope is that this gradual reopening is at least giving hope, giving more hope, and the restaurants and the gastropubs and the bars that are here have demonstrated an enormous amount of resilience. They've worked incredibly hard to survive, and therefore I hope that what we have now we will have in May, and we will have in July, and we will have at the end of the year, because these companies, these restaurants, these are the survivors, and they deserve to do well from now on.
Yes, fingers crossed. I mean, independent restaurants especially have had a bit of a torrid time. So aside from the financial aspect of needing to get revenue into their businesses as the market reopens, what other areas do you think they need the most support with right now?
So I think they obviously, bums on seats is the biggest challenge. They need support with the costs of running their business. They need to get real choice, I think, when it comes to procurement, when it comes to services. I think they need to have as good a deal as the chains when it comes to some of the commissions that they get charged for just simple things like table bookings or deliveries. These are the areas where, if that playing field can be leveled a little bit, if the costs of operating the business can be reduced, little by little, bit by bit, across multiple areas, if the community can really work together to share best practice and share ideas on what you can do to succeed, what you can do to mitigate the worst effects of what's happened, then I think that will really, really help. But there is no silver bullet. I mean, the silver bullets that have been dished out have pretty much all gone now. So it's going to be about working together and understanding where those benefits can come from, and working as a community to achieve those. And I hope that Restaurant Collective will be able to help with that by, for example, negotiating this range of great deals in the deals marketplace to really bring down the cost of operating the business. And then by giving restaurants the best access to information, and as we develop, introducing a mentorship scheme so that restaurant owners can learn from each other. They can learn from people who've been through what they've been through, who've done what they've done, and who can really give them great advice and guidance into how to succeed.
Superb. Well, we're coming towards the end of our time together. I'll just finish with one question to you each before we go. Paul from Restaurant Collective, do you want to give a quick plug for anybody's operators or suppliers that want to get involved with the organisation? Where do they need to go to? Do you have a website?
We do. So restaurantcollective.org.uk is our website. You can go there, you can find out all about us. request information if you want to contribute to the knowledge base, to the deals marketplace. If you'd like to support us with sponsorship, you can contact us through the website and we will get straight back to you.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you. And yeah, Paul, to finish with you, obviously pubs, restaurants, cafes have opened outside this week. I think everybody's now focusing on May the 17th when things ease up a little bit further, all being well. For you as a business, is that a real flagship date in terms of future hopeful progress?
Yeah, absolutely it is. I think everybody's signposted that date, haven't they? And we're all looking forward to it. As I say, we are certainly before that date making huge inroads into preparation, and everybody's sort of setting themselves up for that date. So yeah, we'll all welcome that date with open arms, I'm sure, and work towards that.
Yeah, perfect. Well, good luck to you both. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode. Really great to hear about your organisations, and best of luck for the weeks and months ahead. Thank you.